welcome all of you here. It's very nice to see you, and I'm glad that so many of you have come out. I also would like to welcome a few of our special guests we have. Number one, we'd like to welcome our honorary member, Mr. Arthur LeGrec. Where's Arthur? He's here someplace. Arthur, would you mind standing so people see who you are? I guess he's a bachelor or something. And I don't know whether we have any honorary members here or not. I haven't been told yet whether we have any honorary members. We do have Mr. Harry Leonard, the 8th District Coordinator of AARP is with us. And he will be introducing you formally a little bit later on, but at least he's here with us now. So now I think we should stand and salute the flag, and then we'll have a short invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May we have a moment of silence now for our deceased members. O God, we give thanks for all the blessings of this life, for our friends and family, for the year we have shared, for our lives which we have offered, for the food we are about to eat. Keep us mindful of those in need and the needs of our community, so that we may find ways to reach out to the needy and to help our community. Grant us peace and bless us all with the light of your presence. As we enjoy this day and begin a new year, we give thanks for the food we're about to receive, for the nourishment of our bodies. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen. You may be seated. You may be seated. Today we have a lady from the Peabody chapter, and it's good that we have association with other chapters. She's going to be our MC for the day. So right now I'd like to introduce to you our MC for the day, Ms. Diane Panakopoulos.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome to all of you to the annual installation luncheon of the Salem chapter number 2454 of AARP. It's good to be here with you today. Your chapter was founded in 1974 and incorporated in 1976. Your first president was Jeanette Renard. She served 4 years with you people. Your chapter is one of the oldest and largest chapters in New England, with 700 members, many of whom have served over 2,000 volunteer hours in this community last year alone. Your chapter has funded annual scholarships of $1,000 to deserving young students every year. Your chapter has hosted candidate forums bringing the important issues of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, long-term care, and the Older American Act to the voters of the 6th Congressional District. Your chapter has participated, along with other organizations, in the Wellness Clinic distributing AARP information on the importance of independence living. And your chapter has the most successful AARP tour program in the whole area. It's providing travel opportunities to many parts of the world. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. This all takes many hours of hard work on the part of your officers, your board of directors, and yes, you, the membership, who support all of these worthy efforts. Your chapter has fulfilled the AARP motto, to serve, not to be served. I, along with Harry Leonard, congratulate you all. Before we have lunch today, I would like to ask if there are any founding members here today. And if there are, please stand. No, but let's have a hand for them anyway. And how about the past presidents? Do we have any past presidents here today? Please stand. A job well done by all. And now for lunch. Bon appetit. And as we Greek Americans say, Kali Orexi. Thank you.
Bravo. I help you. There you go. When I was at San Jose College, that was one of the courses of communications.
And introduce Jane Osborne, the chairman or the chairperson of the scholarship committee. Jane?
It is our pleasure this year to introduce Daniel Whitlock, who is the recipient of our scholarship. Daniel has just graduated from Northampton High School, where he is very active in the Youth Leadership Advisor, a peer education group leader, and also had an after-school job. He will be entering Greenfield Community College and the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, majoring in business administration, especially applied to music production. Would like to have his own label sometime. Congratulations.
Hopefulness that I'll be able to pursue my career and do the best that I can with it. Thank you very much.
I neglected to say this is his mother, Elaine, who's trying to keep him straight, and Lillian Brown, who is his grandmother.
I want to thank you also. Part of the joy of having a son who's in college, who's just beginning college, is, of course, I'm proud as a mother, but I'm also a graduate student myself, and my specialty is higher education administration. So, of course, I'm interested in opportunities for young people, and I truly appreciate that you have chosen as a chapter to devote your fundraising energies and recognize the importance of education for young people as well as people of retirement age, which I guess that qualifies as me too. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, young man. Well deserved. Now I'd like to introduce Gordon Brady, who will, I believe, give out the awards and have a few words to say. I don't want to say his final words because he's going to be with us for a long time. Gordon?
Well, first I'll have to say, I'm very thankful to my Maker that I've been able to serve you for the last 2 years as your president and leader. I noticed that there's been only one president of this chapter who has lasted more than 2 years, and I don't know what happened to that person. But all of us of them, I think it was about 10 of them, only served for 2 years. And I wonder if they met that cardiologist for the first time like I have. I've been looking forward to this day for some time, and I thought it might be a day of rejoicing, but instead, I feel just a little bit sad, just a little bit, to leave the job that I've enjoyed, in spite of the difficulties, disappointments, criticisms, frustrations. It has been an exciting, interesting, and enjoyable experience. I'm not going to reiterate the accomplishments of the chapter for the past 2 years. Most of you know what they are. I will mention my greatest disappointment, though. Maybe it will be an incentive for the next administration. I was totally disappointed that I was unable to get a good community service committee working on projects beneficial to the community. I think that without community service, we've strayed away from the real purpose of the AARP organization, that is to serve, not to be served. And the reason this cannot be done is due to the lack of volunteers. In this chapter, the members of this chapter are very, very active in other areas. They have a lot of things they do personally. They go on vacations. They travel a lot. So they don't have any time for things in this chapter. But I think that should change. I think that we should become a lot more community oriented. And I know that we have initiated some programs for next year. The next administration will carry on. One is the 55 Alive program, and we will be doing a lot more on the program for connections for independent living. Now, you have enjoyed the program for the past 2 years. Many of you have congratulated me for them. This was not all my doing. I had help from the first vice president, and the person in that position always, tradition has been the program chairman, and he has helped me a lot. We enjoyed bringing you the programs, and in spite of the complaints and criticisms, we did not let that bother us because we did the very best we could. And speaking about criticism, I would like to say those people who like to criticize a lot, why don't you join one of the committees? Or when the nominating committee comes by and asks you if you want to go on the board or become an officer, why not accept a position and then you can help get things like you want them to be? I have a lot of other help too from the officers and directors. I won't call any names. However, I want them all to know, each one to know, that I really appreciate everything that you did for me, with me, everything that you did in attending to the business of the chapter. I also want to thank the members of the committees, the various committees, who helped us. The membership committee is a big job. I think the person in handling that has done a really good job. The Sunshine Committee, we kind of try to cheer people up who are in sad situations. Our newsletter, I'd like to really thank the members and the directors and officers who helped with the newsletter. I thank those who contributed to the news for the newsletter. I thank the editor. I thank the people who did the folding. I thank those who put on labels, those who did the counting, and especially the man who did the making for us. So I want all of you to know now, I really appreciate what you did, and I will miss you, but I will be around to help you in any way that I possibly can. And now, this brings me to, I guess, the last official act that I will do as the president. I would like to ask Robert Eden and Loretta Jordan if you will come forward, please. For several years, and he's been a great contributor to us, and we have profited by some of his ideas. Now for Dorette, and reviewing some of the chapter records, I learned that Dorette has served this chapter for a few years, and I'm sure all of you know her, or have read and enjoyed her articles on health. She has given us a lot of information that will keep us healthy. And I would like to also say that Dorette, I think we were on the trip once over to Italy. And down on the banks of the Mediterranean is where I first got a chance to talk with her in a long time. Because the other people had to go, I think it was up in a fort the United States Army had during World War II. So she and I couldn't go up there for some reason. I don't know what it was now. But anyway, we sat around on the banks of the Mediterranean and had a little talk. You remember that? So, by the wishes of the Board of Directors, I want to present to Robert E. and Dorette Jordan certificates of appreciation for their work with us. This is a member of our chapter, and you've had indirect contact with her through the newsletter. She is responsible for the fine format of the newsletter, and she prepares the letter for printing. She uses her own sophisticated equipment. She furnishes the paper for the letter. She furnishes the paper for copies of the mailing list, and we have a long mailing list. And she periodically furnishes computer disks to other members because we've been trying to find a backup person for her. She also has the patience of Job. I have worried her quite a bit sometime, going back for corrections or additions to the newsletter. I did it so much, it was in her house so much that her grandson began calling me grandfather. But she always accepted it with courtesy. She never got angry or anything like that. And she did a very good job. I think most of you have commented about how nice the newsletter looked. And I think one time she must have gotten tired of me coming back so much for corrections until the last few letters we had were perfect. So now, I would like for you to meet Ms. Deborah Compton. Ms. Deborah, would you come forward, please? The Board of Directors. The Board of Directors voted to give her a token of appreciation.
This was a total surprise. Everything Gordon said is true. And my grandson does call him Grampy now. He hasn't met my granddaughter because there hasn't been as many mistakes. Thank you very much.
And now, last but not least, not nearly least, I must recognize one other person who has given me lots of support and has helped me through thick and thin with words of encouragement. And I think she helped with every newsletter. She became an expert on the voting machine, and she trained others to work on that machine. And she is somewhat of a perfectionist, so that has kind of kept me straight, and has kept me from making a lot of mistakes. But all the time, she was by my side, and she is the love of my life, my wife, First Lady of Chapter. Would you come forward, please? I really appreciate it. Well, that ends my official duties. So I guess I'll say thanks for all the cheers. Thanks for the jeers. Thanks for the good times. Thanks for pleasant memories. And may God bless this new administration coming in. And may God bless this chapter. Thank you so very much.
Stay with us just a minute, Gordon. Charlie, would you please come up?
Now it's my turn to pick on the boss. Let me tell you, it's been quite a year watching this man work. He has the energy of 22, 20-year-olds. Let me tell you, you really have to go to keep up with him. But because he's worked so hard and he's put so much effort into this, we decided he needed a little gift. And he did mention one thing over the years, so hopefully this is what he was looking forward to. Just a minute, young man. And you notice we use worldwide paper for it too. You want to open that now? He's like a little kid, gotta get that open quick, you know. Keep talking, he says. While I am talking up here, the people that received the postcard about June 22nd, that was from the AARP from me to alert you to that meeting, so you try to keep that date open for our organizational meeting at the restaurant. I will be forwarding you in a little agenda and some ideas for that meeting. So you will be getting something in the mail from me. Thank you. Are you happy, Gordon? He said, I gotta get one of those gavels. So we found one and we put it in his name. Also, there's a gift in the card because we understand he likes to go to the movies, so we're going to keep him happy for a while.
Well done, Gordon, well done. And before I introduce Harry Leonard, who will administer the oath to the new officers, I would like to take a few moments to tell you a little about his AARP involvement. Harry has been a volunteer for AARP in leadership positions since his retirement from the General Electric Company in 1991. He co-founded the Greater Peabody Area Chapter 4806 in 1991 and served as the first president there for 3 years. He also filled in, as you know, with a new chapter, the establishment of it. He became the chief cook and bottle washer. He held all the positions in it, sometimes at the same time. He served as a community coordinator, as publicity chair, as legislative chair, as a 6th Congressional District Coordinator for VOTE. He has organized numerous issues forums and served in the Leadership Council for the past 6 years as the 8th District Coordinator. He is responsible for the Salem, Lynn, Peabody, Danvers, Andover, North Andover, Cape Ann, and Havel chapters. And now coming to the business at hand, his responsibility to install the new officers of this chapter. Mr. Leonard.
Volunteering. You heard Gordon talk about volunteering. The hardest thing in the world for a chapter president is to get volunteers. You know, and so you may as well do it yourself if you can. You want to talk about volunteering. I have been volunteered to more committees and so forth, not by myself, but by her. She volunteered me to show up at the AARP meeting. We had a Halloween party as a nun. It's the honest to God's truth. Dressed me up, I was a good-looking nun. And I won first prize. You know what it was? A nutcracker. And that's the truth. The only problem I had at that particular time is when I had to go to the men's room. And I was standing in the men's room by myself when two gentlemen come in. And I said to them, "What can I do for you, my son?" And that's the truth. How many people in this room depend on Social Security? And Medicare. That's why we're independent. And we wouldn't be independent without those two things. There are some people who are teachers. They have their own pensions. They're all laughing over here now. But thank God for those two plans, because without them, we'd all be in trouble. These are the things that myself and Diane fight for. We're the ones that go in and talk to the Congress and the senators about the bills that are going through that benefit the elderly and all the people in the country. Medicaid is a big thing with me because of the fact that I am an ombudsman, and I go into rest homes and I make sure that the people are being taken care of properly. That bill, in 1996, they almost did away with the ombudsman program. If the president hadn't vetoed it, it would have been out. And we're the people that stand between the management and the poor people that are there. In this state, there are 63,000 people in rest homes. That's unbelievable, isn't it? In the rest home that I do, there's 160 people. And some of them do not belong in there. Some of them belong in assisted living. And it costs the government approximately $5,000 a month for each one of those people that comes under Medicaid, pardon me. And I took a survey of my patients there last week, and out of the 160, there were 10 people that, in my estimation, do not belong in there. They should be in assisted living. They may need a little help, but they could be well taken care of in assisted living. However, some of them come in there when they had a medical problem, and their children, they were there for 6 or 7 months, and in the meantime, they did away with their apartments and their furniture and so forth and so on. Then when they get better, where do they go? Children can't take them. Their furniture is gone. They're in the rest home for the rest of their lives. They should be in assisted living. And it costs approximately $3,000 a month to live in assisted living. That's still $2,000 a month that the government would be saving. And I am going to institute, and I'm going to talk to my congressman, I want him to subsidize the people that go into assisted living. For example, if the 10 people in this rest home, 10 times $2,000 is $20,000 a month you'd save. That makes sense to me. The people that I meet in the rest home, some of the people, they never see anyone. It's a sad commentary on life, really. And they seem to be just waiting for me. And some of them have a good sense of humor, and some of them don't. I happened to meet a gentleman last week, right? And he was up on the 3rd floor of this rest home, and I walked in, and he was just getting settled. It was his first day there. And I said to him, I looked at him, I says, "Are you new?" He says, "Do I look new?" He says, "I was born in 1909. He says, "What's your job?" He says, "Whatever it is, you better get your eyes checked." Another old lady, not old, but she was probably 85. She says, "Let me tell you a story." She says, about men and women. My husband would not do anything around the house. I'd say, Billy, the plumbing, the faucet is leaking, the electrical outlet keeps blowing fuses. He says, does it say handyman on my forehead or electrician? She says, no, it doesn't. So one day, now this was told to me by a person in their 90s. One day he came home and everything was fixed. And he said to him, how did you get this fixed? She said, look, she says, I got a handyman in here and he fixed everything. He said, you have two choices. If you want to go to bed with me, or if you want to bake me a cake. So her husband said to her, what kind of a cake did you bake him? And she says, does it say Betty Crocker here on my forehead? Now that's good, isn't it?
I'm gonna have to cut that out, you know.
What? It's the truth. Never cut out the truth. Does it say cameraman on your forehead? Well, first of all, before I go on with the installation, I would like to have all the officers of the past year to stand up so we can personally thank the President, the Board of Directors, the chairperson. Where are they? If they're not here, they should be. I want to thank them for all the work they have done. We're going to call President Charlie Walsh, a nice young man. Vice President Ron Harrington. I'm just going to say, give you a little thumbnail sketch of these guys. What did I say? Harrington. This guy's name is Harrison, not Harrington. He doesn't want to be known as an Irishman, and I don't want to. Charlie Walsh, one of 8 children. Mother Charlie and Margaret Walsh of Salem. His father was a truant officer. In fact, he was the guy that picked me up for skipping school when I went to the old Howard. He spent 7 years in the Carmelite Cemetery. Oh, pardon me, Carmelite Seminary. In Middleton, New York. 4 years in the Air Force. In Korea, Formosa, the Philippines, and Japan as a Chinese cryptographer. I met one of those in Calcutta one day. It wasn't bad either. Graduated from Salem State College and received his bachelor's in education in 1960 and his master's in ed in 1963. He taught at Ipswich High and a Pickering School, 7th and 8th grades. Became the principal of Carlton Elementary School in Salem and was charged with running the Carswell, Sheridan, Alternative Bentley Elementary Schools, and so forth and so on. He retired. He retired in 1996 and decided to become active in the community and joined the member of the Salem Access TV studio, while he's taking very questionable movies now. No, I'm only kidding. He was also on the board of directors of Ward 2 Social Club, community representative of the board of Carlton School. He's married to Joyce Marshall, who is still working, and keep her working. He has 2 boys, women. We have 2 children, Charles Jr., who has 2 boys. My grandsons are Charles and Joe Walsh, and he loves to babysit, I believe that. And Lisa, his daughter, works at Harvard Medical, and it all keeps him young. Welcome aboard, Charlie.
Thank you.
Now look at this good-looking guy. The Vice President, my goodness. I'm glad I can take somebody that's almost as good-looking as I am. He's a native of Salem. He worked in Manhattan for a dozen years, moved back in 1975. He was the editor of several aviation magazines, a regional manager for public relations for United Airlines. Retired 2 years ago for 9 Yellow Pages and now Bell Atlantic. And spent his time playing golf and painting in watercolors, writing for magazines and traveling. He retired with a 24-year career in the United States Navy. Way up in the Naval Reserve. His wife is from Marblehead and is a teacher, and he's going to keep her working while he's painting and playing golf. Isn't that nice? Okay. Okay, I'm going to call up the second Vice President, Norma James. Recording Secretary, Donald Rainey. Corresponding Secretary, Jane Osgood. Treasurer, Kay Oswogolo. Let me tell you something about Kay. Since she became treasurer, she's had her house done over, she's got a new car, and she's got a new watering system doing her lawn. She's doing a good job. Where is Kay? Here she comes. And directors for 3 years, Edward Zielinski, James Muse, Richard Elliott. Good, should I be calling up the rest of the directors too? Didn't I call Richard Elliott? Where are you, Richard?
He had to leave.
He had to leave. He told me that when I met him in the men's room. Please raise your right hand and say "I," and then pronounce your name afterwards. I sincerely declare that I am willing to accept the place of service for which I have been selected. I further declare that I will do to the best of my ability perform the duties pertaining thereto. I will comply with all the bylaws, rules and regulations of the American Association of Retired Persons and Chapter 2454. I will at all times and all occasions endeavor to promote with dignity all worthy causes being promoted by Chapter 2454 and the American Association of Retired Persons. I will never use my office for personal promotion of material gain. I shall give myself in unselfish service to the chapter and its members. In my capacity as the district director and by the authority vested in me by the American Association of Retired Persons, I now pronounce you installed. Thought I was going to say married. Thanking all of the people for your attention, and thank Gordon. He's been a good president. And another thing that I want to say that I've noticed, in the last, Mr. Grady and Mr. Walsh, right? We've had 2 Irish presidents right in a row. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new president.
I hereby give you the charter.
Thank you, Harry. As you can see, Harry has developed a very good sense of humor over the years, something which you really have to develop when you're dealing with groups of people, and especially people of our age. We do have idiosyncrasies. I'll tell you though, I am really happy to be here today. I didn't think I was going to make it because for some reason or other God had decided I needed to have kidney stones again. And so yesterday I had lithotripsy, and today I'm on Percodan. So if I don't make sense, you know why. But again, thanks be to God that we have the modern medicine we have today, and we have the coverage we have. I don't know how some of these poor people can pay their bills today. When I went in to get my medication, the woman in front of me picked up 5 pills, and it was $87 for 5 pills. I couldn't believe it. And the poor woman had to go back out to her car and see her husband and get the rest of the money to pay for those pills. So that's something we are working with on the state level to do something about. We have got to get this thing under control regarding prescriptions. So I'm going to call upon you people when we go to the State House, when Diane calls us to be very active, we will be active. Do you understand? We will be active. Now in my speech. First, I'd like to thank Diane Penacopoulos for being our MC, Harry for being so nice about the installation, and giving up their time to come here for us. Elizabeth, Penny, where are you? Penny? Yes, would you come up a minute, please? I have to ask her a question anyway. But Elizabeth is the one that really put this whole program together for us today, so I think she deserves a big round of applause. You may have noticed on your way in that there were 4 very nice young ladies here. Ginny Williams, Maureen Holman, Seal McCarthy, and Marilyn Faulkner. And they helped you people get seated. They were going around busily with the cameras, taking pictures. And how about a round of applause for those people? Are you out there? Can you stand up? Again, they gave her their own time to do this because we asked them to do it, and without a question, they said, we'd love to do it. These pictures will be forwarded, by the way, to the AARP in Boston. There are some people in there now that are really working hard to do a lot more in regard to announcing things that are happening in all the locals. And one of them will be pictures of you people actually working at things, projects, and being at events such as this. Penny, you got that thing with you?
Are you whispering in her ear or what?
All right. We do have, before I finish my speech, a person in the audience that for years I really have loved listening to, who have worked hard in the chapter, and I think she always has a few pleasant words to say. And I'd like to bring her up now, if she doesn't mind. Jean Gelman, would you come forward?
I don't know how I'm going to follow Mr. Leonard's act. That was very good. I found a couple of things that I thought I'd like to share with you today. One of them is entitled, Why We're So Tired. I've been blaming it on iron poor blood, lack of vitamins, dieting, and a dozen other maladies. But now I know the real reason. I'm tired because I'm overworked. The population of this country is 237 million, and 104 million are retired. That leaves 133 million to do the work. There are 85 million in school, which leaves 48 million to do the work. Of this, There are 29 million employed by the federal government. This leaves 19 million to do the work. 4 million are in the armed forces, which leaves 15 million to do the work. Take out the 14,800,000 people who work for state and city governments, and that leaves 200,000 to do the work. There are 188,000 in hospitals, so that leaves 12,000 to do the work. With 11,998 people in prisons now, that leaves just 2 people to do the work. You and me. And you're sitting there fooling around having dinner at Dan's Court. And this is a cutie. Where the dog and cat came from. A newly discovered chapter in the book of Genesis has provided the answer to where do pets come from. Adam said, Lord, when I was in the garden, you walked with me every day. Now I do not see you anymore. I am lonesome here, and it is difficult for me to remember how much you love me. And God said, no problem. I will create a companion for you that will be with you forever and who will be a reflection of my love for you, so that you will love me even when you cannot see me. You think it's Eve, huh? Think again. Regardless of how selfish or childish or unlovable you may be, this new companion will accept you as you are and will love you as I do, in spite of yourself. And God created a new animal to be companion for Adam, and it was a good animal. And God was pleased, and the new animal was pleased to be with Adam, and he wagged his tail. And Adam said, Lord, I have already named all the animals in the kingdom, and I cannot think of a name for this new animal. And God said, no problem. Because I have created this new animal to be a reflection of my love for you, his name will be a reflection of my own name, and you will call him Dog. And Dog lived with Adam and was a companion to him, and loved him. And Adam was comforted, and God was pleased, and Dog was content and wagged his tail. After a while, it came to pass that Adam's guardian angel came to the Lord and said, Lord, Adam has become filled with pride. He struts and preens like a peacock, and he believes he is worthy of adoration. Dog has indeed taught him that he is loved, but perhaps too well. And the Lord said, no problem. I will create for him a companion who will be with him forever, and who will see him as he is. The companion will remind him of his limitations, so he will know that he is not always worthy of adoration. And God created Cat to be a companion to Adam. And Cat would not obey Adam. And when Adam gazed into Cat's eyes, he was reminded that he was not the supreme being. And Adam learned humility. And God was pleased, and Adam was greatly improved, and Dog was happy, and the cat didn't care either way.
You can always count on Gene for a little humor. It's always a very nice humor, too. So, thanks again, Gene, I appreciate it. By the way, now that the president is officially the ex-president, I do have another little plaque for him. Would you come up, please? I had to wait till he was the ex-president so that we could give him a plaque which says the former president. This is a certificate of appreciation to Gordon Edward Grady in recognition of his dedicated service as president, June 11, 1999. All right, just a few more words about what we anticipate we will be doing. Briefly, my goal is to stay in charge of our lives. We don't want somebody telling us what to do. And we are going to do what we want to do when we want to do it. And the only way to do that is to step up and to do it. And we're going to do that through various programs. As he mentioned, the driving program, which is extremely important at our age because we do slow down a bit in different ways, reactions especially. So we would like everybody who can to take this course, those people who really like it, become teachers of it, and it'll really help us in the future. When I look out here and I see James Muse at this end and Ron at this end, we've got members who are board members closing in on you. And they will be approaching you about volunteering. That's the whole thing about this organization. When we say volunteering, it doesn't mean you have to be absolutely active all the time. Some people love that. I happen to be a person like that. I know Ed Zielinski's like that. A lot of people here are. But some people can volunteer just by being there, being a member of a committee, and adding information. You may know something that we don't know, that we don't have access to, or people you may know, or facilities we may be able to get a hold of. So please, do not be afraid to volunteer, whether it's by word of mouth, by presence at the table, or telling us things that we can use throughout the year. We need your help. This is a volunteer organization, and volunteer needs to help each other. And that's the only way we're going to be successful. So please, do not be afraid to volunteer. We're going to work hand in hand with you. We're going to work with the COAs, the Elderly Affairs Department. Salem State College called me, by the way. They would be very interested in having some of you people volunteer at the college in their offices. As you know, everybody cuts back. The first thing they cut back is secretaries. So if anybody has that kind of ability, Salem State College is more than willing to take you on board, and you can do a few hours a day, a few hours a week, whatever it is. We will be getting back to you this information. The internet. Everybody knows the internet? You can all become very active. The AARP is on the internet. Whatever you want to find out, you can find out on the internet. If you don't have access, Salem Public Library has it. Peabody has it. Beverly has it. So that there are a million ways you can get the information that you need. If something has to be done, Mr. Eaton volunteered the other day, for instance, in regard to wheelchairs. People who need prosthetics, who don't have access to it, who don't have money to it, we have people available to help you people, help people in your family. So don't be afraid to come forward and request the information from us. We are here to serve you, not to be served. We're also here to have fun. I don't intend to be disgruntled and unhappy the rest of my life. I like to enjoy life, and I want you people too. Jim, smile! Atta boy. There's nothing like having fun. Now, I know Jim is going to an outing at a school, an elementary school with his grandchildren. I am too, and I'm sure other people here are. These are important, not just for ourselves, but for the children. What they see you do, they will follow, especially grandparents. It's important for you to let them see you be a part of society, an active part of society. They want to know about voting. In Salem, we're going to have 5 or 6 people candidates for mayor. I don't know who's for what. I hope that somehow or other we'll be able to get these people in front of us and have you people badger them with questions. After all, Salem has a tremendous elderly population. It's up to us to make sure we know what they're bringing to us and what we can bring to them. So don't be afraid. If we have a political forum, we want you there. Ask those questions. You people deserve, have the right. You people were the ones that helped these communities to develop. They wouldn't be today what they are without you. And therefore, the community should get back to you. But you have to request the information. So please, become active, enjoy yourself. I hope as president, I can lead a good way to develop everything we want to have for the people in this area and make life a joy instead of a difficult existence. So please, join us next year and we'll have a ball. Thank you very much.
I can tell you he's going to be a great advocate, and I hope you all follow him. And now it's time for the raffle. Would the raffle committee please come up?
For those of you that aren't familiar with this instrument, it's called a hockey stick. Okay? And we have this stick signed by many members of the current Bruin team. So this will be the last item that we raffle, so you can all anticipate. We've sold all the tickets, so there's no other tickets available. But this is our grand prize of the night, a hockey stick. Now, we're going to raffle 11 different items. And if you'll all get out your pink tickets, we will be raffling these all. And I need a volunteer to get us started to draw the first winning number. First winning number. And the first winning number is 771548. We have 771548, a match. Tickets. Can I have someone come up and draw one more number for the pink ticket drawing?
I'll do one.
Thank you.
That's what I call my Alfred.
Oh, yes.
This is the final prize of the pink tickets. And the number here is 771495. 771495. And verifying this at 771495, and our final prize. Now for the implement that's used in the game of hockey, we're going to draw on the blue ticket. And our ex-president drew the number, blame him, not me. It's 654044. And the name is Mackenzie. Mackenzie. We don't have tickets, I guess. All we have is the name Mackenzie.
Are we going to get a demonstration?
No.
And congratulations to all the winners. Condolences for those of us who are non-winners.
Congratulations to all the winners. And now I'd like to introduce Pete Saran for your entertainment. Get up and dance and have a good time. Thank you.